Alright everyone, welcome back to the More of Anime, to another Watch and Talk. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for all the positive comments when I was sick. I think I got sick because I was washing the car and I got wet and I didn't change right away. So hopefully we don't get wet today. I don't want to get sick again. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that these shirts will be for sale. At this time of the recording, it is the 21st of October. They'll be available through Big Cartel on Friday, October 23rd at 12. And when I say it's very limited, I mean like super limited. Not like 200 shirts, more like I think there's like 18 shirts or something like that. Extra large and like 17 shirts large, but whatever. Anyway, just want to say thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. Get it. Alright everyone, welcome back to More of an Anime, to another Watch and Talk. Yeah, as you can tell, the shirt's a little baggy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I used it like for 2 days. So that's why it's really stretched out. No shame. But yeah, I wanted to push myself and try a different design, and that's what we came up with. I really like it. The gentleman that helped me with the shirts, it's a side hustle for him, so it sometimes takes a little longer, but they're pretty good. Can't complain, and like I said, I'm always just trying to push myself to do different things. So I know I am gonna be looking to making some hats, and like I mentioned on Instagram, in one of the stories, I'm not doing it to become rich. That's not the point. If honestly, if I was trying to make money, I probably would find another different way, because merch is not honestly is not the way to go, especially when your following is not quote unquote as big, and and I'll be honest with you guys, like ultimately I don't want you guys to spend money. um, I think that that's been always my goal for me on a personal level. It's always to keep things on a budget, and never want people to spend money on products, um, because I understand that some of us are going through some challenging times, and some of us are actually very supportive even if we're going through some challenging times. So I don't take it for granted that you guys make your purchases, and show support to the channel, watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing, recommending, word of mouth, or just sending the link to somebody. It's more than enough. And again, this is just a way for me to push myself to create something, because a year ago or 2 years ago, there was no way I would even imagine of be in the talks of creating a hat. um, I do apologize for the the watermarks. For the next maybe 2-3 minutes, there's gonna be watermarks on the screen. I forget to clean it. You'll be able to see my little hose here, since it's really heavy. That's how I always get wet. Um, but here we go. Look at this. I'm an idiot. Anyway, so it brings me to my next point. I asked my wife, I'm like, what should I talk about? And she's like, well, how we trade our time for money. Uh, we call it a salary, or we call it an hourly rate, and it ties in with the whole selling merch. Again, we only order like 19 extra large, and I don't know, 18 large or something like that. And some of them I gave away to my brothers, and obviously one to my wife, and things like that. So again, it's not about the money. It's for me to push myself to create something that I would never do, and at the same time, I don't want you guys to buy something, um, not only if you don't have the budget, but also if you don't really believe in the product. As you guys know, I follow the minimalist a lot, so whatever I bring into my life, it has to really be an addition. It has to be something that I'm going to be using and useful. I try not to take anything for free. I don't really like taking things for free, especially since I'm trying to minimize my clothes as much as possible. I do have a lot of clothes, and obviously compared to other people, I have nothing, but I still feel like I have too many stuff. And you know, I think we're all battling with something, and it doesn't have to be negative. It's just, what I'm saying is, we're trading our time for money, and sometimes um, I'm trying to be very very open minded when it comes to different mentalities. Especially on social media, I see some people that They're always flashing material things, always flashing. I mean, they buy new wheels, bam, or they just put a set of wheels and then they just buy some other wheels, and it's okay. It's what makes them happy. I think that's part of the problem. I think that social media is only uh, highlighting or or big spotlights, or the quote unquote achievements that we're making, and it creates this idea of like, man, it's normal that everybody's buying parts and you're not. It makes you feel uncomfortable, like, man, like what am I doing wrong? And then we've had this conversation before, um, and so I'm a true believer that nothing is more valuable than obviously your health and time, um, because it doesn't come back. It just doesn't. They always say you can always make more money, and that's very true. But I think part of the thing is like, why do we want to make so much more money? Why do we want to put ourselves and create a little chain or a little um, box of bills? You see that a lot when people win the lotto, and in 10 years either they go broke or they just they create a completely different lifestyle now requires them to make X amount of money. And I was there. I mean, I remember when I first got my first counseling job. um, I automatically, after 6 months after driving my wife's car, and part of it was her fault, to be honest with you, because she was complaining that she wanted her car back. um, it, I didn't want a regular, quote unquote, just a base Civic. I didn't want a regular car, and I felt like, okay, I'm making X amount of money. I should be able to go get my Subaru STI or my Evo or whatever, something more of a performance car. But what happens is we start creating this this box of bills, and so obviously the car payment, the insurance, the gas on that car was a little, you know. I think when you combine everything, I think I was paying over $1,000. I mean, it really adds up, and like I said, I'm a huge numbers nerd, so that was my only bill. Like I had no student loans, I don't have any credit card debt. I don't believe in that. Obviously, that the car, it was bothering me. It was in the back of my head all the time. And aside from the fact that I didn't want to be living where I was working for the rest of my life, so that's the reason we got rid of the car a while back. But it ultimately came down to that. I mean, if I still had that bill, I think it would have. I don't think, I know it would have had a huge impact on the way I would have been making my decisions moving forward. And I think that's part of the problem. The problem is we don't want to let go of our identity, and therefore we continue to work. We continue to exchange our time for this paper currency, or whatever it is, currency, to be able to buy more stuff. And I saw that with a lot of coworkers, where they made well over $200,000 and they're still waiting on the next paycheck because they're broke. And I just didn't want to do that for myself. And so I guess my question to you guys is, how do you, what is it that brings most joy that doesn't require money? And the reason why I'm asking that question is, at this old school meet that we went to San Diego, I was able to interact with a few new people, and they were just saying, "Hey, thanks, man! Like, your videos are providing a lot of motivation." And at some point, I thought about, well, I'm not trying to send the message that your car has to look this certain way or that you have to buy these certain parts. I'm a true believer that the information is going to be there, and you choose to do whatever you want. If you want to spend on expensive wheels, or buy another car, or whatever the case may be. I do apologize about the cough. It's still not going away. But we're getting better. Um, I'm not here to obviously tell you what to do with your money. It's your decision. But I do see a lot of people who are trying to constantly buy X amount of things, and they're constantly putting that on their social media. And I can't help to think that I hope they're happy. That's number one thing. Um, but I see a lot of stress when it comes to certain people. And I mean, it might not even be cars. It might be, you guys have some other hobbies. You like off-roading. You like expensive beer. You like, um, I mean, maybe gambling or whatever the case may be. It may create some challenges your way. So I think that's really what I really wanted to focus is, focusing on things that don't really require money. that don't require you to have to spend those next 3, 4, 5 hours um, at a place, especially if you don't like the place. I mean, if you enjoy what you do, that's, man, you're already won. Like, that's the number one thing. But there seems to be like this trend of people going to work um, at a place that they may not be in love with. And I'm not saying that you have to love every single thing, but I mean, if you don't enjoy it, then that's a huge downer, I think, or at least your coworkers. And uh, you know, life is short. I think I've always said life is short and life is long. The way it depends on the way you want to live it, and whatever makes you happy um, in the long run and the short run, and the people around you. Um, that's something that I definitely have been working on myself and trying to work on myself. Um, I'm in the market for new wheels, and the reason why is because I want to be able to give a break to. I don't know why I keep getting those. This screen keeps going black. I do apologize about that. But I am in the market for new wheels, and the reason why is I want to be able to give the M7s a break, and um, I'm using Jacky as my daily to work, and my commute is super short. That I just want something that a little bit easier to drive. I'm not. I don't want to go too aggressive on the specs, because then I'm also going to be resizing the M7s to less aggressive specs. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the last time I bought a set of wheels, damn, those were the M7s, and I think they were back in 2016. Yeah, because I was working as a teacher's aide. Again, I apologize for the water spots. So 2016. Now we're in 2020. I mean, it's been 4 years, and I haven't bought any set of wheels. Last year I did get the car painted. I spent about 2,700. Not the best paint job, but I just really wanted the car to be one color, and I'm very happy with it. So that was a big purchase that we did last year, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because um, I'm, I'm one of those guys who says work slow. Um, Take your time buying something that is really actually gonna bring you joy, as opposed to just buying left and wheels left and right. And if that's your thing, well, that's your thing. I'm not, again, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but um, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I definitely want to take my time buying things, and that's why a lot of people may say, dude, like, when are you gonna do this and that to your car? And yeah, it's a fair point, but if I have other priorities, and that's the thing, where something that some people don't understand, and maybe they do or they don't. I'm not quite sure, but they maybe their brain just works different. Let's put it that way. And when that happens to be the case, then they work different. They don't share the same values, and that's perfectly fine. But from my end, I don't ever want to be able to not be able to walk away from, let's say, a job, or have to work extra hours because the end of the month it's coming up, and I didn't I can't make the bills, or whatever the case may be. That has always been one of the things that I definitely don't ever want to be able to experience. And if you're in that boat, all I can say is cut down on bills. um, Maybe don't go out to eat to Starbucks every morning, because at the end of the day, it's time. It's a time that we're exchanging for this currency, and social media is telling us that we need to use that money to buy material things that, quote unquote, will make us happy, and sometimes it doesn't. That's not the case. And so, you know I do think about the fact that I am interviewing people, and I'm providing this sense of visual and audio. I don't know if motivation will be the right word, through the builders. Obviously, the builders are the ones that are doing all the the building. They're the ones explaining their hard work and the pride that they take on their cars. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Most of the people that we've interviewed have owned the car for more than 5, 10 years. So this is not oh, I bought it 3 months ago and now I'm just gonna be spending all this money left and right. And I think that's where people forget. And that's the reason why I always ask, how long have you owned it? And where'd you pick it up? Because it's important for people to understand, like, this was not made overnight. And it at times, especially with family, uh, it takes, you know takes space in the back, and it doesn't get touched for 1 month, a year, 2 years. And we're in a society where we have this quick gratification that we want it now, and so we think that, um, you know I'll give you an example. Someone like Raul, who we just interviewed on his red DA, he built that car in 1 year. But what you guys are failing, especially the youngsters, that let's say they don't make that much money. He clearly said it. Like, the reason why I was able to do this in a year is because, one, I'm making completely different money, and two, like, I'm doing everything that I couldn't do back in the day. He could have done that, but he had other priorities, and that's something that I want you guys to understand. For any young individual that is listening to this, the same thing with me. Like, do I have the funds to do? I mean, even a K swap, I do. Like, that's not, no one, you know. I don't like to brag about none of that, but it's just not my priority. And there's a lot of things wrong with Jackie, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my time, just so I can get more likes on Instagram, and get the positive comments like, "Oh, bro, that's cool." Nah, man. But anyways, that was a topic I wanted to share and kind of express with you guys. And I hope the videos are bringing positivity and motivation, but always remembering that it's okay. You go at your own speed, and that's the number one mission that I'm trying to, I guess, share. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Watch and Talk. Um, I'm just curious, where and when did you guys hear these videos? They're meant for me, at least, when you're doing laundry or you're doing something around the house and you just kind of want to have something in the background. But I really do appreciate the support. Um, Even just going to the last old school meet, Honda meet in San Diego, a few of you guys came up to me, and it was such a humbling experience. Like I said, there's nothing special about me. I'm just some random dude that likes stories and walks around mumbling in his GoPro, and apparently washes his car as well. But whenever you guys see me, say hi, say what's up. And it's very humbling, to say the least. Thank you for all the support. And we're going to continue to strive to bring you guys more stories. It's not easy, guys, trust me. It's not. It's very difficult finding people to interview, and the reason is because it's such an intimate thing. Their builds, their face and camera and things like that. But I do appreciate everybody who I've been able to interview, and we'll keep on grinding. That's all I can say. So I appreciate it. And as always, we go for the car, we stay for the person. Peace.